Non, c'est bon. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Odoo Insider Show, as usual every Thursday between 9:30 and 11:30-ish, something like this. As you know, we have every week this moment together. Last week it was another Antoine that started the talk with a very, very good joke. If you didn't catch it, you can start it again. As you know, we have all the links from previous sessions on the link that I regularly give on this show, that is odoo.com/r/TKE. You have the link eventually in a few seconds, but I will come back to this anyway. So this one today, if you have a look at the agenda, we are going to have a regular Q&A session. Next week will be the same, and then we'll have 2 different weeks with one of my colleagues. Well, you know Antoine is a specialist in payroll, so he will be the one giving you, here you have the agenda, he will be the one giving you a vision on what we did for the Swiss payroll together with Pierre. They are both HR and payroll specialists, and they will be really good at showing how we are now soon to be validated as a let's say, a payroll valid company on the Swiss market. So here also, the week after, we'll have a special session on the logistics, and after that, I'm saying regular Q&A session, I don't know, because I would really love to have Emanuele back here for some technical insights. A few topics that we have at the moment is maybe the connection with Zapier. We know we have a lot of people that want to connect different APIs with Odoo using those kind of tools, or simply a huge session about how to edit reports, talking about the layouts, because it's also something that I would say a lot of projects have. So how can I please my client with a document format that is exactly what he needs? I think that if I have a look at other clients, not only the partners that we have and that ask us some tips and tricks about that, but I think that regarding clients, more than half ask for special customization on their documents, sale orders, invoices mostly, but that is a regular thing that we have. All right, I see that we already have a few questions, so I'm going to again ignore the list of questions I have on my side and focus on yours. We can start with the first one from Xavier Boulery on LinkedIn that is saying, "Hello Antoine, my client has 2 companies in Odoo and wants an email signature per company. He wants the company logo in the emails sent by Odoo when sending a quote. He also wants a different phone number or function per company per user." That's a good one. Let's see. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go on odoo.com. Different, you will see what I mean. It's just that you may not know that, but it's a moment to be updated. We released version 18.1. So my previous databases, you can see that here, if I have a look at my databases, I have a lot, and I think maybe, yeah, you see every time you have the versions here, so we have 17 over there, 16 here, old one, and then I think it's not valid anymore, by the way. No, it proposes me an upgrade, usually when it's blue like this, that's what it means. And then the previous sessions we had, it was on a 18, but now I think that if I go there and I click for a new trial, I will install a few applications as usual. We're going to test a few things. Okay. And we mentioned multi-company timesheets. All right. That could be sufficient for a first try. As you know, I like to prefix my things here so that I can have them nicely put in my database. I will stay in Belgium. All right, everything is good. I can go forward. If you are a partner, you know that you can select here. I would like to offer Odoo services to other companies. I will move on a few seconds here for Odoo to build my database. And at the same time, I'm going to think about what Xavier is asking, because I see the point. It is saying that if you are in a multi-company environment, you would like to have different signatures and logos. We will have a look at that. I think it's weird, but I think it's not that easy. Why? It's a totally valid demand. Checking something here, you see it's pending activation. I want to activate it, so you will see I will have a quick look at my other screen so that I can validate it in my mailbox. So don't worry, I'm still with you guys. Checking this, you will have something in your mails like this one. If I go there, Odoo is telling me, you want a free mug. I already have enough, and I can move forward. Usually just doing that, you see it's not showing me the pending thing anymore. It's telling me I have 14 days of valid database anyway. So this is what I have at the moment, and we are going to dive into a multi-company environment. I'm always hesitating during the show if I should be using the demo dataset. I won't do it this time. I really love it, but when it comes to multi-company things, I don't like too much what it creates. So I will do without, and we are going to create multiple companies. I will rename this one. You know that by default it's the name of the database. I will say it's Belgium company. All right, I can use this. Okay, and then I will use another one, create here, and I will say French company. And it will be in France, of course. I'm doing this. Yeah, it's telling me, that's a quick message to tell me, hey, you are going to be in the custom mode. Just sometimes I know it's a quick reminder. If you go on the pricing page of Odoo, you have here the fact that you are in custom plan if you are going to use multi-company, so that you know it. Okay. So multi-company, French here, you know also that if I go into the accounting, I'm with the Belgian company, let's go in the settings, Belgian company is selected here. French, I don't know if it installs it by default. Yes, apparently, so that's good. Everything is set up correctly, but the question is the following. I will keep just one user because I guess that the error or what you want to accomplish can already be done with only one user, because what you want is to have, let's say, conditions based on the user that you have. I think that we'll have to put a bit of echo during the show. Yeah, we are, you know where we are, guys. So sometimes I need my comfort during the session. I wasn't smart. I have quite a woolen sweater here, so I'm asking for the echo, and Arthur is of course mocking me. Thanks, guy. All right. So that you know the live here at Odoo. And the thing is, if you have a look in the preferences, that's where you have your email signature. So that's usually what's going to be used when you are going to send emails. There you have it. Let's try and have on one side a quote for the French company. I'm going to say both are going to invoice Odoo. So I'm creating odoo.com. You know that we have that quick feature to fetch some information. It's going to tell me that this VAT number is not real, so I will remove it. Okay, I'm going to add a product, and we can say service on timesheet. I'm going to work 1 hour, blah, blah, blah. And the thing is that if I send this by email, yeah, as usual, new database, so it's proposing me a few new things like changing the document layout. Continuing this, all right. Okay, email is going to be test@odoo.com. It's a long setup just to show that. I'm very sorry. And you see here, that's the email content, and it ends with administrator simply because I'm the admin, and that's the signature, and we load the signature. So I'm going to remove that. I'm not even going to send it. I'm going, that we can close. I'm going there, and I'm going to change and put some, I don't know, bold stuff saying business analyst. Maybe I should change that right here and put a fake phone number. Then, and we are going to add the company. Company, we say FR or BE. We don't know. Just doing this. Now if I resend by email, we have my new signature. So okay, it seems to work. That is already good news. All right, so how does Odoo fetches that signature here? Usually that's coming from a simple place, that is the email template. Yeah, I need to be in debug mode. There we go. Okay, so email templates. We go there, and it was on the sale order, so that's the send quote I think that is being used. And you see here we have that. Although it's showing Michel admin, that's simply because you need to have a look at what it is inside. So there, because I'm in debug mode, you see you have, when you double click somewhere, you have the code review. I'm going to click there, and we're going to see what it does. And it's saying, hey, if not is HTML and blah, 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 then we go and fetch the signature. All right. So the thing is, we don't have any other notion here than to just select a signature. So what we can do is, let's say that we need to change something here. I don't know if the best is to change the signature field to potential different fields, or to have hard-coded other content that wouldn't be part of the signature. Because signature, let's imagine you are part of several companies. You would maybe change it saying on one side you are working, let's imagine I'm working at Odoo, or I'm working at Coca-Cola. I would need to maybe change my signature because I would have a different job. But also there was another question that was, I think, in Xavier's sentence, which was, okay, but we also need to change the logo. All right, but the logo is supposedly changing already because the information that they are going to receive is coming from, let me check here, if you click on send by email. Thanks a lot, Arthur. All right, very hot coffee. So here you don't see any logo, but you will have on the quotation, because the quotation here, it will be the company logo that you have on top, and that is anyway printed taking into account the company information that is on the sale order. So depending on if you talk about the logo directly on the PDF, that is already handled by Odoo. If we're talking about the logo like you would like to see it over there, that would be more or less the same story than the signature, because in the signature what I didn't mention is that I don't know if you paid attention, but you can add an image, for example. You have some media, and then you can upload an image, and if I go in my thing, I could say that I'm from Xkey or that fake company. Perfect. Let's say this. Of course, you need to change the size. And again, if you have just one field that would work here, but then only for one company. So I would need maybe to duplicate that field and have some kind of condition. I'm thinking, like, can we in the document here have something where we are going to select the user ID signature field, but with an attribute that would check the ID of the company. I'm going to try something. So I'm going to do it for this template, but chances are that we are going to need to modify other templates. The best way would maybe be to keep the same template and to have the signature that would be a computed field based on other field, but that would require development. So I'm not going there, but that would be another valid thing. And here you see we have a condition that is the t-if, and then I could maybe add another condition like here, saying, okay, another t-if. We're going to see where we have errors. So I'm putting it here. I don't remember if there we need to have the indentation that is correct. So I'm going there and say object.companyid.id equals 1. So if it's the first company ID, put the signature. And what we are going to do, just for a check, is else if it's different than 1. Here in the case where I have two companies, then I will show it twice. All right. Then it's just testing the if. Because believe it or not, it's not that easy, because I don't remember if Odoo takes into account the indentation. Maybe just this is already going to fail and give me errors, so I'm going to test that with you at the same time. So if it's company 1 and company 1, it's just based on the idea. Here, companies, we have Belgian company, you see it here, it's number 1, or I can maybe hide this. Okay, and otherwise it's company 2 or different than 1. That would work, of course, if you have 5 companies. That is not like super nice. Maybe what you could do is a way where we have then different signature, and it will be _1 for company 1, _2 for company 2, and then you get the idea. We can find the signature, or you create a separate object and you call it at that place. You see already the different ways we can do that. But let's try this. You see that every time I go there to generate the email, that's maybe something I shouldn't do, because every time I need to click there and there I have an error. It will tell me what is the error, and we are going to come back to this. It could be indentation, elif directive, so maybe I have a mistake there. That's the first thing. And second, maybe what I could do is just click on preview here. It would give me the same error as well. That's faster than every time going back to my sale order, printing us an email. So you know that we have the preview button. All right, so I have if, else, and it's telling me there is an issue with if. So I suppose that here I'm maybe breaking something in terms of, how can we say that? In terms of where my if should be, but I see that here I'm not closing the if, so maybe that's what I should do. I thought I did else, and then I don't know if I need to close it as well as else or if it's a if. And for that, you see already I should maybe it's removing it. Why? Because we have a if here. Okay, I suppose it would have to be indented. Let's try this. And that's a bit too small for me. All right. And the problem with that is that it's not really nice in terms of because I cannot tab. So if I tab, I'm moving out of the file. So I would prefer to have a different text editor. It could be that I need to open my Sublime text editor just to get that in better shape, because here I think it's going to tell me the same. You see if should be preceded by if. So obviously I didn't create any if. So if there is a syntax error there, that's maybe because there is another if somewhere. Nope. So we have if. I will make that bigger again. So I'm reusing the same. So for this one it should be alright. I suppose that the error is here. Out. I should maybe close the T over there. Yes. Up. And if I don't, it's good that I'm struggling, because so that I can show you a few other things after. So let's preview it. Yeah, okay, that's good. So this one. It's simply I didn't close correctly the tags here, so I closed it in a I closed it as a if, but it doesn't exist. It's just a T tag. It's a T tag with an attribute that is if. So mistake on my side. Here the preview you see already. It's that company, so that's why we have two different ones. I suppose that if we go back here, send by email. Okay, we have both. I'm going to switch and go to the Belgian company, create a new one this time, and here select, yeah, we had Odoo something. Okay, Odoo, let's select same product, same cost, but in euro instead of in dollars. Same story here, and then what is going to tell me? Then we only have one thing in the signature. So our condition is working. The only thing that you can do is now work with different fields that you would create with Studio, or yeah, that would be the easiest way on the SaaS, because that would work. You would just have two fields with signatures. What I don't like with this approach is that the signature, we fetch it in every different template. So you would have to, it's not nice because you will have to do it on all the templates. Going back on the templates, it means that here, if I go on the pro forma, I need to change this one as well. So you realize it's a lot of work. I don't like it too much. I would prefer to have something that is computed, where you have, let's say, the signature field that is used. Let's go back on the quote. The signature field that is used would be a concatenation of maybe several things. One logo of the company, and then other information that you have, like your job in another company. And it concatenates everything computed. So at the moment of rendering the email, it checks how to sign it. This one is sufficient enough to help you. I would, if it were my client and that it is possible, I would prefer to go maybe for a computed field than doing this. I don't think there is another way in pure standard to do that kind of thing. Just checking if there could be something else, because the signature is really there because we added in from here, and I don't think that you can do something else than along those lines, having conditions for showing something or something else depending on the company ID. Yeah, And of course here, maybe you can, if it's just a logo thing, then it's different because it will be the same signature, but then maybe you will load the logo, so an image tag here to load the logo of one company, or an image tag there to load the logo of another company. That would work, though. So if it's just a logo and you keep the same text and job, that would work. Otherwise, other possibility is that you don't want to, you use different images that you store somewhere and that Odoo is going to fetch. So your images are stored on Odoo or on another server. And in fact, the only thing that you do here is fetch, if the company ID is number 1, you fetch an image where the source would be URL 1. And on the other side, but that would mean that the whole signature is image based, which is not really what we do usually. And otherwise URL 2, that would work as well if it were a complete image. So you see, it really depends on the use case, but maybe you have some base to start working there. Otherwise, small development. And you know that I like to have a look at what the other companies are doing. So we can try maybe see if we have something about the signature. Yeah, we are going to find a lot of digital signature things. So have a look, this one. It's a bit expensive for what it does, but somebody thought about that. Email signature, okay, create company-specific signature in a multi-company environment. That is also a possibility. So is it existing in V? Not yet in V18, but I suppose that didn't change that much the way we do it. So yeah, you see email signature multi-company. So you have a few that do that, but remember, doing this means going on Odoo SH. Almost no choice, or you buy the module to know how they solve the issue and you redo it on, with Studio, but there's no guarantee that you can do exactly the same. I'm going to check something because I just want to see if we have a few that are completely open source, like free report with signature. Because if we do, we can dive there. Signature process person. Because if we have something free, we can have a look and compare website, company signature. Would that be the one? We can check that. Download. Okay. Let's have a look at how it is done. Company signature, and then okay, we change that. What do we have on the company? Nothing. Okay. Okay. We use another model, but I didn't see that model. Okay. Not sure that would work because we would need an inheritance to this one. But there was another module. Yes. That's it. Okay. And what do we have here? Okay. So, but here it's a binary. It's a file. So. That is not bad, but the idea here is that they use an intermediate object to load it inside the company, and I suppose that there you could use like find the right model signature record based on the company you are in. So you see, it's the same approach that the one, more or less than the one I was advising. If you have the possibility to do some development, there you have user signature. Maybe that's similar. No, it's just that kind of signature, but. Okay, I suppose that this is enough time on this particular demand. Doable, quick and easy and dirty, I should say, here, or maybe with a development would be better. All right, another question that we have, I see here on LinkedIn. In the Odoo Online V18, I have an attribute size with value 36, 37, 38. I think you sell shoes, by the way. I'm trying to import products with the attribute pointure, yes, shoe size, with value 36, 37, 38, 39. During the import, I get the following error. Multiple results were found for value 36 in the field. Product attribute, same error. Yes. How can I correctly match my attribute with their values, please? It is going to be super long, this one. I'm going to try to make it shorter. A long time ago, like 3-4 months ago, something like this, we had a session with Emanuele, and we started discussing the import based on, I think it's, I'm going to try to find it for you. That is the link, by the way, with all the sessions. In one of the tech ones, maybe that's here, we need to have a look. There's one where we discuss CSV import from Thibaut François. Yes, that's one of our colleagues, very funny guy, that created that library a few years ago, as you can see, already a long time ago. And it is about how are we going to help Odoo generate CSV import files. And the example that we had here was about importing product. And at some point we stop and we say, okay, we didn't deal with everything because obviously importing product and product variants is way more complicated than just flat product templates. Product variants, I need to check if I don't have another file. For this, I need also to go on my other screen because it's something that is, I forgot the name of, but I know that inside you will realize the complexity of it. And we can maybe try a bit of it on the 18.1 now so that you realize the difficulty. But this one is complicated to explain because the best way to explain it would be to have kind of a graph showing the relationship between the different objects because there are many that are being used. And I think that people can make mistakes for one reason. They don't use enough the XML IDs and they rely on the names. And I guess that's what's happening because on your side you say, value already exists, or we have several values because 38, if you think about that, 38 in human terms is just one size. But on your side, you are going to have a multiplication of 38. You have 38 for shoe 1, 38 for shoe 2, 38 for shoe 3. And so you need to be sure that we are talking about the 38 that is a meta representation, like the real 38, and not one of those other values. It's something along those lines. I'm trying to find, yes, if I have it here. That is something I will need to share, but it's on our drive, so I'm not sure I can like this. But I'm going to reuse it so that I can illustrate what I'm saying. And we can maybe try to re-import it. It's a bit old. It was done on a version that was, I think, 16. And by the way, very important, the question that you're asking, I would answer it different than version 14 or 15, because at some point we changed the way product and product template share different objects like the attributes and their values. So the question is also version dependent here. But the thing that we do is that usually I'm going to illustrate that explaining the file and then we are going to try it. Here you have a different template. We import the templates first. The template is going to be a t-shirt, a sweater, and a pant. And you see that we are going to have attributes and colors. But here, those things, as you can see, it's IDs suffixed, so it's going to be about IDs. If I go in the attributes, there I have my ID of the color and size, and that's why I have every time different colors, different attributes, and different size we'll see after that. And so color and size, we have the attribute values. So that's why it's import values, and here import attributes. And then we need to import the product, and that is where it becomes really complicated. And if you are going to use the naming, it's not going to work. And I think that after that we have the all together file, but I think this one doesn't work and we'll have to redo it. Okay, going back there, we are going to at least go to product template, attribute and values. And from there, I'm going to try to show the differences between the different objects. I hope that this file is still up to date and that the database, well, the data model didn't change much, because that is going to be difficult. For these ones, I would say come to us later and we are going to work on a file together, because then there is also extra complexity which comes after, and that is, okay, how do I update that information every year? And at some products, I update them, and some other products, I create them and I archive others. All right, so let's go and do a quick thing. I'm thinking about the best way to do this. I'm going to download the file first. Let's download that Excel sheet. Okay, and then on my computer here, I'm going to move it to the right place, and let's go. It's good because we have an empty database. I just need to go there, talk about the variants. Yeah, I don't have them because it's a new database. I'm going to add the variants, and let's do that. Okay, I have some product variants, but I'm going to create product templates first, and we are going to import records. I upload my file, and that is the one. I have my ID of the template, the t-shirt name, and I'm, of course, removing those ones because the IDs don't exist yet. Okay, it says storable product. Product type is already wrong because it changed, so that I'm not sure it will be good to use. in terms of V18. So that product type, let's go here. It changed in version between 17 and 18 because here it's still, let me open this one. Yeah, all right. We have product type, okay, it's still, you see goods, I have it here, but it's conçu, service, or combo. So my value here, product type, storable product wouldn't exist. So I need to say goods. What is goods? Conçu, okay. And then I need to say something after that, how I want to manage it. But I think that it's not giving me the proper information because I don't have the inventory module. Or while here you talk about shoes, so you would like to have this. So I'm going to add also, particularly for this exercise, the sales stock module. On your side, I'm pretty sure that you already have it. So I'm doing this. Then we'll see a new value showing. So you see already all the conditions I need to put in place before we start even working on this demand. Let's have a look at my sales product. New again. That's what I just created, that track inventory thing. So product type didn't change, I think. It removes my debug mode. I don't like it. Okay, so product type still conçu, and then track inventory is storable. So what I need to do is this at the very least. So the best would be to review my import file, and I'm going to do that with you guys. That's going to be better. Okay, so instead of having, all right, something like this, I'm not going to use product type like this. I'm going to say conçu, conçu, and the same here. And in addition to this, I would need to add a new column that would say, we said is, I don't even remember if it's storable. Was that the word that we used here? Not on that kind of product, not either. Okay, I need to create a new product here, and track inventory is storable. Yes, okay. So we are going to say that this is true. This is true as well, and this is true. Okay. Let's go back here and retry our import. So I cancel this one. All right, let's see if it agrees. It seems okay. So I have a name, it's t-shirt. So I should have 3 new products. Yes, pant, t-shirt, sweater. Good. Okay, so I have my products. If I have a look at the product variants, of course, I have one for each. Now, if I have a look at the attributes and their values, we already have a few things. That's the default thing of Odoo. That is going to bother me, by the way, and that is funny. I think if I go there, if I go here and check the metadata, okay, so the website sale application now comes with a default set of attributes. I don't like it too much because it's going to bother me because I have the color and the brand thing, and the size thing. So I'm going to check if I can archive this one. As I don't use them, that's okay. And I'm going to, just so that it's not so noisy with the rest of what I want to accomplish. So now I'm going to reuse the same file. This time I don't want to import the template, I want to import the attributes. So that's color and, yes, we have the color here and dynamically. And this is maybe something I need to explain as well, which is if I go in the attributes, we see color and dynamic. Why do we use that notion of dynamic? Well, I think that it's also implied in the question that was asked on LinkedIn. Dynamic means that if I go in my attributes and I'm creating a new thing that I call color, that is super important. It is how am I going to create the variables. Please pay attention to this because it's a game changer in the way you want to manage your own variants. So very careful with this one. If you say the first case, which is instantly, which is the default value, it means that every time you are going to create a product with multiple variants, it's going to generate for you all the combinations. So it could be an explosion of combinations. Let's imagine you have 3 colors, 3 sizes, 15 brands. It's 3 times 3 times 15, and then if you had something like is it winter or summer collection, so you add again times 2. So you see you are going to generate a massive amount of products. If you do that on a list of products that you import from a CSV file, you create maybe 200 products for just the first line, then 300 for the second product, and so on and so forth. And so you are going to have a CSV file that takes a lot of time for Odoo to digest, even maybe as far as giving you a timeout, simply because you don't realize that you generate so much through this operation. So when Odoo is thinking a lot, it means that it's really working. If it's really working and you feel like, okay, I'm trying to import 10 products here, how could it be that it takes so long? It could be that those kind of things happen behind the scenes and you don't realize it. So instantly, that's great for, I would say, testing stuff, or for the products for which you know that you have, let's say, 80 to 90% at the minimum of all the combinations. If you have less than this, then you are going to create lots of products that in the end you don't sell. Giving an example about the shoes, maybe you never sell, you have from size 27 to size 46, something like this, of some shoes, but some shoes you don't sell them in the small sizes. If you don't pay attention and you say, okay, that product, I'm adding all the sizes, Odoo is going to generate all the sizes even though those products don't exist, and you will have to go manually or to archive the variants that you don't want to use. So if there are lots of variants that you don't want to use, don't select instantly. Maybe that's a shorter way of saying what I wanted to explain. Dynamically is you are going to generate them when you need it, and it means, among other things, that when you go on a website and you have a few variants that exist, I shouldn't say variants, when you have a product template that exists with different attributes and values, Odoo is going to say, in fact, they are all possible, but they don't exist yet as a product in my database. I should maybe go on another database to illustrate that. But it means that when you generate, you create a product template with a few attributes and values for those attributes, Odoo is not going to automatically generate all the combinations. Okay, it is expecting that you are going to do it for Odoo. The drawback that I don't like with this one, well, the thing that I like is that you can decide yourself which are the ones that exist, but you also need to explain to Odoo the ones that don't exist and that you don't want your customer to purchase. I was mentioning the case of the website because it's important. Let's imagine you have the website and you leave open a possibility for someone to buy the shoe size 30 for that or that model, and it doesn't even exist or you don't have it, not in terms of stock, but it's not that you don't have it anymore, it's just that it doesn't even exist in your catalog. The client will still be able to select it and pay for it, and then what happens is that you are going to lose a lot of time refunding. It's a bad, let's say, a bad image for your shop, because it means that you can buy a product that in the end you cannot deliver, so you are going to lose a lot of time in terms of administration stuff. So that is important to realize that dynamic way. You need to know what you're doing. No variant means that it will not generate the variants. You will have to create them manually. And I think it's same than dynamic, but with a bit more restrictions. I'm going to use dynamic on my side. So here, that's why if you have a look, dynamic means dynamically. So I think that in the file, it is dynamically, or you could say dynamic would work as well. So I'm going to import it that way so that you see. Import records. Using the second one, dynamic color, blah blah blah, test. It seems okay. All right. So here it's selected automatically this, so that's what I wanted. But there are no attribute values. Why is that so? That's simply because I wanted to split the files differently. But what I could have done is embed the values directly in my attributes. That would have worked. I don't remember why I did that. Because you see, we are going to link it to the proper attributes after. But the thing is that in order to import this file, I need to have a attribute value place here, which we don't have, so I would have to recreate it manually. There are two choices. Should I improve this one? I think it's better so that I don't create another value thing. But we are going to dive into this one after. So no, let's do it. Let's do it, and let's see where we are blocked. So for this, that will give me the opportunity to discuss about the attribute notions. If I'm typing attributes, you see, all right, attribute, we have a lot of stuff. We have the values, and we have the attribute. The attribute is this, color. Attribute value would be the red color, because it would be red in the value for the color, for the attribute color. Then you have things I want to talk about. Those two. That's maybe changed again. We'll see. Then you have the product template attribute line and attribute value. Attribute line is, I think, the lines that you have when you go. That's going to be complicated. The lines that you have when you go here. That is to me an attribute line. I don't know if I can show it easily. Wait a second. Do we have it here? If I stop here, it says product attribute, but because it's the first column, so it's an object that has product attribute and product attribute value. Yeah, if I want to really know what is behind a model, product template attribute line. So that is the one, product template attribute line. So the line that we have here is what we will have there. So that's what I will need to create at some point. Okay, and then we have the value, which is inside the line, the values that you can have. So what we need is this one. And as there are no menu yet, I'm going to create a menu, and I'm saying attribute value. And I'm going to put that in the same place as where we were, configuration products. Okay, it's products under configuration. There are lots of things that are called products, so it's not there. It's sales, configuration product, sales, configuration product. That's the place. Create menu. Going here, refreshing. Now I have attribute values. Good. And then I have values and things like that. I will try to import my records, upload my file. It's this one again. And this time I go on the values. Let's try to test. Okay, good. Import. All right, I have my values. And if I go in my attributes, there I see my values. Way, that is working. I just wanted to go an extra step to show the attribute value. And so that's why I have this one. So now we have my product template as prepared. I have my attributes, my attribute values. But if I go on my products, they are prepared, but maybe I should now take care of giving it the correct attribute and variance. So there, important, what am I missing here? Yeah, I could have done that differently by first importing attribute and attribute values and then importing everything in one go. Now if I want to go back on my product template, those attributes that were already prepared. If I had done 1, 2, and 3, that would work, but I instead did 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not super important, it's just for the demo. Going back here, I'm going to re-import my product. And of course, as you should know it by now, I'm reusing the same ID, so I'm going to update my product instead of creating new ones. Testing here, it doesn't give me any error. While I'm reusing the IDs here, it's quite good sign. So I'm going to import. Good. Sweater, great. I have my color and my sizes. That seems cool. So you are going to tell me, okay, but so I have blue S, blue M, blue XL, yellow S, yellow M, yellow XL, red S, M, and XL products created. The answer is no. Why don't we have that? That's simply because we said it should be dynamic, remember. So now what I need to do is create a product variance that would be linked to the right product. For this, it's a bit more complicated. You need to create the right product. And I'm going to, yeah, I cannot do it from here easily. What is really important is that if I want to create those products, I'm going to try to force it. If I want to create those products, I need to say, as Odoo is not doing it for me, I need to say, I'm creating a product variant that is an occurrence of a t-shirt that is the blue S. That's what I need to tell Odoo. So I need to create a product and say, in terms of product template, link it to that record. In terms of color, link it to that record. In terms of size, link it to that record. And that is the most complicated part because here, what we will need to do is say, okay, my product import 1, so that is the product variant, should be linked to the template number 1. And then what do we do in terms of product template attribute values? And the name is whatever, but I should say maybe for this one, if it's red, yeah, I should say red t-shirt, something like this, because I suppose that it was a t-shirt. Yeah, the one was a t-shirt. I should say red t-shirt. I don't think it's really important, the name. That's why it was whatever before. And that's maybe where you are struggling. because I think that here the information, and that's where I wanted to come, but I made a long explanation just because I think that it was answering the need of that person. I don't remember the name on LinkedIn. It needs that long introduction because so that you realize the reasons why we need to do that. So what you have is that it's going to tell you multiple results found for the value 36. Where I'm going to try to replicate the same error, and we'll see if it's going to happen. Going to the product variance. Now I need to import product variance. I select my file, and I'm going to the product. Product is the product variant, and that is not the same error as you have. Here it's just some help to say if you want to split it, you can split it with different names. And you see here, I'm not with a comma. So if I want to say red, red and small, I would need to split it. But you see here, I'm not giving an idea. I'm giving the color full name, which, by the way, if you follow the sessions of Odoo Insider, it's usually not something we recommend because a name is just something that people can change, and usually the ID is way more difficult to change. So let's imagine that someone is changing the different hues of red because in the fashion industry you have lots of words to describe a red, and see if someone goes in Odoo and changes the red value, that just red word doesn't exist anymore. Well, maybe the real color behind still exists. So let's try this. It's giving me this one, and that is where I wanted to come because that is what you have. You have multiple values for red. And so it cannot find it. And so I would try to do something different and say it's not a red that you want. You want a red, and the attribute for red is here, this one, the values. And you will see, I think it's not going to be okay anyway. We are going to see why. All right, let's retry this. Oh, no, load. Okay. Not this one, product. And then, that is fun as well. No matching record found. So it means that this one, it's not the correct object that is that I'm looking at. And I think that here we have that as well. This I think is the same. Product. Yeah, that is not cool. I am using, I've been stupid there. I've been using external IDs with dots. I shouldn't have done that because that is going to make it complicated for no real reason. That is a bit stupid. Is it the only place where I'm doing that? Product, wait. Yes, import product. No, I did it there as well, and I didn't have any error. Okay. So what matters here is that I think that it's not the right object that we are checking. So what we can do is have a look at the products. I need to refresh this one. The product variance. You see I still don't have any. And there you have a notion of variant values. And the variant values you see, the name is product template variant values IDs. And you see here it's product template attribute values IDs. It's not exactly the same field. In fact, Odoo is hiding it from you for a good reason. I'm going to change the view list and try to show the other field I want. I hope I have the correct file for this, because otherwise it's going to be very complicated to change that during the session. Going here, you see now I have variant values and attribute values. And I think that there's something particular here in the code with this one. Attribute, let me check. It is, we see the domain here. It's attribute line ID where the value count is higher than 1. We are going to have a look at that by checking the name of this product template variant value IDs. So let's go on GitHub. Yes, and you see there's only one occurrence of this one, because that's the only place where we use it. Let's make that bigger. All right. Product template variant value IDs. And in fact, if you have a look, it is the same as this, but only for the ones for which the domain contains a value that is more than 1. It's just an artifact that we use so that if sometimes you have in your product, like here, an attribute for which you would have just one value, it will hide it from this place. It's not going to show it. We can try maybe, I will use it on the booking and field service. It's going to be ugly. I will check if we don't have that already on the demo environment. Oops, at the same time, a bit of coffee. It's slow, the demo environment today. All right, so in the sales, I have product variance. Yes, and that is it. Okay, so we have those two. You see that variant values, it's why it's going to show something, and it will hide all the places for which there is only one value. So I will go on the stool so that you see what I mean with that. I need to go on the stool, but on the product side. And I'm going to have a look at attribute and variant, and I'm going to say brand. We have brand, but do we have several values? No, there's no value. I'm putting whatever. We don't care too much. Okay, so we have a brand here, and that is the value that we have. And if I go back and have a look at the variants, you see it's not showing the brand because it doesn't need to, because the brand is the only value that I can have. While it's not showing this, there's another field that shows the complete information. I'm going to copy paste what I did here. It will be faster. That's the one. Okay. Oops, that should be correct. And then you see, so we have two fields. One contains only the ones that are unique, and the other one contains whatever the value that you have. And so what I wanted to do is select items here. And that's where there's something that is very tricky. And I think that's where I wanted to come as well, is that here, have a look at the relation. It's product template attribute value. All right. So the records that we have here are of type product template attribute value. But the product that we have, the value that we have here, it's not product template attribute value, I think. It is product attribute value. So there is that difference. It's product template attribute value or product attribute value. These ones are unique, but the templates one, you see, that's exactly what we have here. If I go in one value, I see the size S, for example. I see, in fact, that size S, there are different occurrences. And what I'm giving to Odoo during my import is this S, while I'll need the S of the t-shirt. And that is where my import fails. So I need to export this information first in order to be able to re-import. So if I said I wanted the red at the beginning, I will need the color blue here. So I'm going to do something particular in between. It's maybe going to be a bit long. I need to find, and as all the words are almost the same, where's the one I need? I need the lines. And inside the lines, I need the... is it the attribute ID? It's complicated, as you can see. I'm even struggling here. Okay, so it's the lines. In the lines, I need the values. The lines, I need the values. Template, product template ID, no. Values, value. I think that's the one. Values, yes. I'm going to try this one. And we'll see. Yeah, and I should have started with that. I need to export it so that I get the XML ID. Lines, we said values. There I don't have any values. Attribute line, attribute ID. The attribute, no, I don't need. I need the lines. Inside the lines, I'm going to try this one. I'm not sure. Okay, let's select it. Yeah, you see, I have three things that is color for that value, and what I need is the ID of this one. So that's not what I needed. So I said attribute ID. I cannot dive deep enough in this one. Another possibility to do that is to try from the product themselves. So I'm going to, what was the first product? The first product was the t-shirt. All right, export. Let's remove that all. And in terms of attributes, product attribute lines, good. Inside the lines, I need not the attribute, I need the values and values, IDs and names. We are going to check that if that's what I need. I don't have the name, but no, it's again not the ones that I want, because these ones are the ones that I imported myself. That is where it is going to be difficult without creating a new line here. I'm going to go in the models. We set product template attribute value. Let's go there. Let's create the same place, product template attribute value, and it will be in the products place inside the configuration like we did earlier. So it was here that actions create a new place here, ptav, and that's what I need, because I need my extra. So we set the red for the t-shirt, so that's what I need here. We can try this one. This external ID and the attribute value. I'm going to check which one I need, in fact. And then you see, I think that's the first ID that I need. I'm going to try that. Okay. So I will take my other file, the one on which I worked before, that I don't need, and trying to import this. Yeah, just to see. Going back to the product, trying to import. Selecting again my last one. This one, it's working, like it's not giving me. Wait a sec, is it the correct one? Yeah, I'm running into another problem that is stupid on my side here because of the dots that I'm using. That is when I told you that the file was a bit old. I don't know why, but on this one we have several dots. So I think it's making difficult for Odoo to understand that. So that is not great at all. What I could do to simplify this is to this one, just say it will be the t-shirt. T-shirt. Yes, that one. So when Odoo has those two, it will say, hey, tell me if I need to import this one or this one, because to me it's the same information, but you have different types of information. So I will remove this one and keep this one during the import. And this maybe I should change it to say it's product import. And then say product import one. That is going maybe to make it easier and to highlight the other errors. Okay, yes, that's what I said. I want to remove this one. Test. In the field tags, no. Product template ID. Yes, that is what I wanted to say. Product templates, I provide both, so this is better. And if I import it, now I have my red t-shirt. All of that to say, in the end, that your error, Saliha, is linked to the fact that this color red, you think it is linked to the attribute value red that is here, but it's not. It's linked to the attribute, what we called, sorry for that, what is called the ptav that we have here, the product template attribute value, that needs to be linked to the same product that you had. That is this one, the red t-shirt. So that's what you need to export before you can re-import when you are in dynamic mode. So if you are in dynamic mode and you've seen, I guess the whole demo of importing everything I have here took something like 30 minutes just to get to that point. It is trying to import product variants. What you are going to struggle with is the variant notion that you have here. That is product template. I'm saying ptav, but product template attribute value and not an attribute value. keep that in mind. It means that you have no choice in dynamic. You need to export first. You need to export the values that you created here. That is this one. And in fact, sometimes you realize, okay, but it's strange in terms of data model. Yes and no, because here, if you want to configure prices per size, let's say the S size for this t-shirt is in high demand. I should have said just t-shirt instead of red t-shirt. That's if you remember, I was mentioning it at some point. Just that here I said red t-shirt. I should just keep it to t-shirt. That would work. And then I need to have the same name, in fact, otherwise it's going to fail. Up. So we have here, when you click on configure, it will say, hey, you want to configure the extra value for the size S. But that extra value, you don't want to change it for every product that is of size S. You want to change it for this particular product of size S. So it means that this one is not the same as the S on the other side. So if I do this, I'm just checking. I'm saying that the t-shirt is 2 extra euro, but maybe I don't want to have that on another product. That would be, here, size, the S you see, it's not 2 extra euros, it's 0. So that alone should be a way for you to realize that, okay, S means several things. Is it just the attribute, or is it the attribute for that particular product template? All right, long explanation. I'm sure we have tons of questions. So I'm going to the next one. There's one with DeepSeek AI massively spawning everywhere. Yes, it's a question that we have a lot, AI generally speaking, but there are not that many places in Odoo where we have AI. We mentioned that in previous videos. It's mostly in the fields like, let me find something here, going to a new task. On the website, yes, it's true. In fact, in any field that is of this type, and you find a lot on the website. Description here, you have ChatGPT, and you can ask for some information to put there. It's a query to ChatGPT. Here, write a quick message about how great DeepSeek AI is. Let's see if they accept it. Voila. So thanks a lot, ChatGPT. I can insert this one. So we have those kind of things, and those fields are also available on the website. You don't see it's a field like this one, but that is true. If I go on the web, if I click on my edition capabilities here, yep, you have edit, and a few places. If I have some text place, like this one. I'm putting this here. I think that here I can also slash ChatGPT, and then you can type whatever you want. I'm not going to look for inspiration for the text, but you get the idea. So those are places where we use it. Not that many other places, exception made of DOCR for knowing what we are going to use in terms of invoice. That's the only places where we are going to trigger conversations with those AI tools. But now if you have other ideas, you can always create your own development for that. That would work as well. Another question from Ilgar, coming back on Twitch, I think. Hello Antoine, is it possible to know which application we can install under Odoo Online Standard, and why we don't get notified when we install more apps? Automatically switch to Odoo Online Custom and get notifications. I'm not sure about the question, but I think that what you mentioned is the following. First of all, what you can do is, I'm not sure about your question. Is it like, as a partner, I would like to know when my clients install extra apps? In that case, what you can do is decide for them and have settings with different users where your user is the admin user and can install application because you have access to the apps place, because you have, in terms of access rights, you have the administration here. If you remove it, the other person won't be able to have access to the apps, because I think what a quick check that you can do is have a look at the menu here. Yes, menu items. If I go in the apps is visible for maybe that's the one. I don't know, we don't have limits for It's funny because I thought, yeah, technical features, update apps. Yeah, it's technical features. That's weird because this one, I see there's no group extra thing, nor on this one. That is weird because I would have expected to have some limits. There must be another control that is done on the apps. Maybe it's simply the way to install them, but change the access rights of your users would be enough. But I have the feeling that your question is not only that, because you mentioned standard or custom, but that is where I'm struggling, because usually it's not a matter of apps unless you install Studio. So odoo.com/pricing, you have the list of things, and that is, I should go on my country. That is the list of things that is going to make you move to the custom mode. And in fact, so this is Odoo Online, so it's not going to trigger anything. Odoo SH, you know it that you are in custom mode because it is Odoo SH. Same for on-premise. It's not application linked. Odoo Studio is the only one that is application linked because multi-company, it can be multi-company just with just one application. So it's not application based. External API as well. So the only app that is going to make you move from standard to custom is Odoo Studio. So, and that is an easy one because you are going to see it here. And you see clearly if it's installed or not. And by the way, I'm going to install it because I'm pretty sure that I will need it at some point. Very good. But on your side, that and the apps that depend on Studio, so like Studio, Studio validation or Studio approvals, we can have a look at the other ones because they depend on Studio. But normally, that message that you've seen when I'm installing a new app is telling me that it's going to be so it's Website Studio or it's all. When I clicked here, didn't pay attention, but it was telling me, hey, you are going to go in advanced mode or in custom. And so you have that information there at the moment where you install it. And usually, it's not only about Studio, but your client should be the one installing the applications. Unless he knows what he's doing, it's more like up to you to guide him so that he doesn't create new stuff, like new unwanted apps that may change the way that he works. I think he should be guided by you when he wants to go from a set of apps to another one. But again, just Studio is changing the pricing. Another one, this time on YouTube, Wim van Erteveld is asking, I have a question. When I unbuild a product in the manufacturing module, the resulting parts are put into stock. However, I have a put-away rule for those products, but they are not triggered. But they should. So if they are not, it's maybe a case that we don't manage, but they should. Because the way that those rules work is that every time that you put them directly inside that stock, you move them into a sub-location. So I did that in the past. Debugging this is a bit complicated without having access to the database. One way of doing that, I don't know if you have a developer background, but if you do, there's a way that you can maybe debug that. I remember from the past, I'm going to check the inventory because by default, I think that the put-away rules are not there by default. So let me check if I have them put away. Look like I will have to look manually. Inventory, the connectors. I'm going to add this because I almost always need it. Same for the multi-step routes. I guess it's contained there then, the rules. Let's have a look. Put-away rules. So we say that when a product arrives there, we move them to another place. But if that doesn't work, in fact, that's fun. Okay, I need to go at the end. I'm forced to select a product at the very least. Okay. Move to stock or to last used under location. So have a look at if your rule makes sense. And another thing that you can do, but it requires a bit of development, is having a look and trying to log in the code which are the different put-away rules that are at some point considered. In order to do that, it's a bit complicated because I need to remember how I found that last time, but it's stock put-away rule. What I wanted to know is on GitHub. I don't know if it's a Odoo community or enterprise thing. So stock.putaway rule. Do we have that here? Yes. So it's already in the product in the stock. Okay. Product strategy. Ah, yes, that's in product strategy. There's some place where we're going to try to find candidates. If I remember well, default location, blah blah. I think it's the file is short, so I think get putaway location. I think that there, yeah, that's the place. That you should check here which are the different rules that maybe Odoo is going to consider. Is it just here that we check this? No, there's another place where we do. Yes, in the stock location. Yes. Up. Yes, get putaway strategy. Voilà. Returns the location where the product has to be put if any compliant putaway strategy is found. Otherwise, returns self. So you should check here. If I'm sorry for coughing for your ears, you should check there if you cannot output or log a few things like if for one reason Odoo cannot find the right putaway rule. There's always an explanation. That's definitely where you should go and trace a few things in the code. If you are on Odoo SH, you can do it. If you are on the SaaS, you cannot. But what you could do, I know it's a technical notion, but you could go on site and try to debug that. We can help you do that. It's going through the technical aspect just to be sure of what is happening, because on your side, if you cannot do it, and I suppose you did it already from the interface by changing the definition that you have here, by thinking your use case, like is there any reason why in fact my stock is not really into the WH stock? Is it really WH stock it goes to, not a duplicate name, not a translated name, not a sublocation of the stock, because that is important as well. Is it really the right product? If you are sure of all of that, then no other choice than to go to a bit of code just to see what is being the rules that are considered for this. If those kind of things, it's the place where I'm always going to tell you this. If you need more help for that, we can help you. You know that we have an email address where, as a partner, if you have a pack, you can ask us, and we or a client, if you have a pack with one of our consultants. That's the kind of thing that we do. We perform research just to know, okay, you have a use case. We need to know, is it a bug? Because it could happen that we have something that's a use case we don't cover, and we're like, okay, we didn't think of that use case in particular. It could be that, or 90% of the time, it's not that. It's just more like a misconception or a wrong configuration, and that we need to investigate. So here, based on just that 2 lines that you sent, I'm telling you that it should work. If it doesn't, we need to investigate, and investigation needs to happen on the database where you have the issue. Another question now on LinkedIn. Christian Alesiardi. In Odoo Online, how can I modify the user portal so that the internal product reference do not appear in quotation? Okay. I'm not sure this is portal related, to be honest. But I see what you want to do, but I don't know if it's only on the portal or if it's just also in any regular quote. I'm going there. I'm going to select my product that I had before, and I'm going to say that my T-shirt, in fact, its references TS. I'm putting some code so that if I go here in my orders, create a new one. I shouldn't maybe select the one for which I have yes, because here that's the thing, is going through what I said earlier. And remember, that is the funny thing, it's dynamic, remember? Even though it doesn't exist, I can create it by selecting it. So that is what is important. So remember, I just imported the red one, I think. I'm creating here a yellow M. I'm confirming that. And because I'm doing this, let's have a look. That's fun. Let's go back to my product variants. Now I have my yellow M, and if I have a look at this one and I check when it has been created, metadata, it is right now. So you see it's 1044, maybe not on your side, but I can tell you that on mine it is. So that's really why here we illustrate the difference between dynamic or instantaneous. Okay, so we have here, but the funny thing is that I selected a t-shirt, but although I selected a t-shirt, I'm not sure that we are going to show the reference because I have a reference on my product, but not on my product variant. So let's have a look at that, and let's try to print. It's a place where I'm not sure, and there's a kind of small change that you can bring from one version to another. No, you see, we have the description of the t-shirt, but we don't have the reference, so I'm going to add it also there, because the reference can be used. Here it was a t-shirt that we have. Okay, I'm going to put a 1 here. So now I think that if I print it again, it's not going to change, but if I select it again, no, not what I wanted to do. If I select it again, up, no, it's fun. Let me try to select my t-shirt again, yellow, I said yellow M, that's correct? Ah yeah, and then it fetches it, okay. Good, good. Retrying the quotes. Yeah, you see the difference. Before I had the reference and after. So if you want to remove that, you need to change something. We covered that in a past video, but I don't remember when it was because it's not the first time that I'm asked this. You need to change the description that is here because that is a description that Odoo is going to load, and you won't have the choice. What I can do is also check if we don't have, if it's not a selection that is made in the PDF or the HTML report, because I guess that what you mean is also, hey, in addition to this, also in my account, if I have a look at my orders, it's not an order, it's quotes. Hopla. In my, can I see them? Okay, I will have to confirm them, or it's simply not mine. Let me check. As a salesperson, no, it's for me as well. Belgian company, but here am I in Belgium as well? My website is maybe not for Belgium, so let's see if I can reuse that yellow M t-shirt. So here I'm going to struggle a bit just because of the access rights. Is this? Nope. Maybe it just want to show the sale orders and not the quotes. Is that it? Yes. Okay. So you will have to hide it from here, but also potentially from the PDF. Is it the same place? I'm not sure. So we need to go in the reports. And in the reports, we have a look at, so it's the sale order. I think that's the name of the, yes. I think PDF quote, or it's maybe the quotation order, rather this one. We go in the cube views, it's sale order, but it's going to load the sale order document. So we go back to the views, we enter this one. That's the one that we need. And then you have the definition of the order. I'm going to make that bigger for you. And here you see that's the definition. Do we have some place where we talk about, for the product, do we select its reference number? No, it's just the name, and we say the name of the line. So that's what we've been talking about. We say the name of the line. If there's no display name, no display type, sorry, it's nothing to do. Remove what I said. Yeah, it's the name of the line, and the problem is that the name of the line is the whole thing. So the way you would need to change it is to we covered that in a previous video, so I'm not going to redo that again. But the way we need to do that is to change what you are going to show. It's maybe just the name of the t-shirt, and if you do that, a quick way to do it, it would be to say, I don't want to show the name of the line, I want to show the product ID name, and that would be different. If I go there again, maybe it's not the same report though. I'm going to check here if that is. Yeah, you see, so that I show t-shirt instead of the t-shirt plus the definition. And the fact that on the portal it's different, it shows that it's a different report, but I can check because maybe this one would be faster to change. I see it's a TD with product name. Let's see if we have that. I'm going to change again to the previous version that I had. So here, it's not that. where do we have product name in the architecture? But it should be a QWeb because it's on the portal. View type, we have lots of places. Sell order, portal content, that could be the one. Yes, product name header, but it's just product name line name. So line.productid.name, just to check. Would that work if we refresh this one? Nope, that's maybe not the one. So there are lots of different views that we need to potentially change because I don't know if that's the one that we want. It should be an order as well. It should be the one. Huh? Let's have a look at this again. Because we have the name quantity, the discount if we have one, name quantity, yeah, discount if we have one, but we have none, so that's okay. Then the tax is the amount. It seems to be the one for the product. Let's change a quick thing just to see that style. That is a quick trick that you can do. There may be others. This one works. Just want to be sure that it is the right place. So I'm changing it to red. Yes, you see product is appearing red, so it's the right report. So obviously I made a mistake. It's product name. I'm selecting the product ID name, and however it's not working. Do we have a condition for this that would explain? Yes, line display type, line section, like product type is a combo. No. Line notes, no. It should be correct though. Let me try again that super trick of showing things in red. Nope. Okay, it doesn't look like it's going here, but we do that if the display is a line section. That's maybe why line if is a line section. Okay, it's not a section that we don't need. There will never be a product there, by the way, so it's not going to work, this one. So I'm going back to line name, but where do we have line name in other places? So we have it here. Here display type is line section or line note. But it's not there either. If there's no display type or if it's different, but that should be the one. I'm curious. I'm very curious. Because here, you know what, I'm going to do the same. Sometimes I should spend more time reading the Python code, but sometimes it's not that I abdicate, but I wonder if it's not faster that way. Line name here. Let's say blue. Oops. Doesn't seem like it's working. So why would I have that? So we have a place, terms of condition, payment terms. Okay. But it's definitely around that place that you would have this to do. Let me check where we have other quantities. With price quantity, okay. Let's try to do it here as well. Nope. Line price unit. I'm looking for another place where we would have the line information, but maybe we have a inherited view. Could that be? No, the shipping, the product links for the follow-up, product ID, website published, line name here. If it's not website published, which is the case, so it could be that. Let's try again. And then we have another thing like if website published. Okay, let's see if that could be it. Yes, all right. So my other change was not incorrect. It's just that we have our change being removed by another inherited view. I should have started by this. So we have it here, and then instead of saying this, we know that there's a product ID there anyway, because we checked for it before, so it's even faster. We could do that. And there we have it. Okay. So you see two places where you need to change depending of it's the PDF or the portal thing. And portal is here if you have website sale, which, yeah. It's a specific case. And we sometimes discuss this the following way. You can use Odoo without the e-commerce part, but still want to show the portal place for your customer. So that's why here you have install ID for the e-commerce. It's not just the website. This one is the e-commerce, so it's the website plus the shop capability of the website. And we say, okay, but if you want this to work both for website type of orders or product, well, normal product, sometimes you want to have a URL so that you can click on the product and see the product. Sometimes you don't because those are not supposed to be shown. And so that's why we have that, that notion here. And that's why when going back on the architecture, you're like, okay, I'm making changes. At some point it works, some it doesn't. So maybe the view is changed later. So that's the reasoning. I should have gotten there a bit faster, but it was a good exercise as well. I think that the question is answered. We can go to the next one. That this time we can go any place as you prefer, guys. Arthur Alain Dupré is asking, how can I hide the timesheet in task project for the portal user? Usually my clients, I don't want they see time spent on project. It's going to be similar to what we did here. It would be having a look first at the place where people can see that. So in my account, can I see timesheets? You said in task or project. Huh? Okay, I'm going to do it on one place. Here you have three different views potentially, because I suppose that on the task you can see the timesheets. Let's check. Yeah, you have time spent. So is that what we are talking about? In which case we are going to make that column and the content invisible. Or inside one place, maybe also you want to hide this, in which case you need to maybe, that would be the best, make this link non-clickable. That would work as well. And that is just for one place, because on the other side, timesheets, you need to completely hide the logo. So quick help here. So that timesheet place, what you can do for this one is, you see it's review all timesheets. Let's find a view that talks about that. So we say review all time, and we have only one place where we have this, so that's the one. And we could say that here we already have access rights related to the portal, so that only portal people can see it, or above, so that potentially you could maybe inactivate. Let's check. Then you don't have the timesheet anymore. I would say as simple as that, if that is what you want to accomplish. So that you don't have to play with extra access rights here, because in fact, you don't have many access rights that are lower than the portal, and you don't want to play with the definition of the portal access rights. So that's maybe the best that you could do. That being said, it's a bit specific, but let's go back to editing this and showing it again. I will click on timesheets, and then I will go back there and inactivate it. Just to show you that hiding the link doesn't mean that I cannot access it. If I refresh, I can do that. And if people know the link to my timesheets, even though I don't have the link, I know that it is here, timesheets, and I have access to it. So maybe you want extra changes where you hide stuff based on the group of the person, saying, okay, it needs to be an internal user so that he is able to see that. If that's what you want, you will need to change a little bit. So you, I will reactivate it, because we don't need to hide it, you get the point. Then we need to find the place where in my timesheets, what is the view that is loaded, so you can change the view as well. Do we have a place where we are going to, is it this one? When you are, no, that's the one I was just before. No. No, so that's going to be a bit more complicated to find it. It's obviously a portal view where we are going to load timesheets. What can we have here that is a word that I could use? We have the search, we have a few places, date employee. Okay, not that much that we can work with. Maybe time spent is going to be a wording that is going to help me find the right template. Okay, that's one of those portal timesheet table. That's maybe where we can check. Okay, is it this one? Nope. Timesheet table, because otherwise you would have to also hide a few things here. Let me check portal timesheet table. So you have two that are similar here. Is this one? I don't remember. No, it's maybe this one where I see my timesheets. Time spent. Ah. No, it's maybe not the correct check that I'm doing, by the way. My task with timesheets. Which one could it be? So you see you have several ones where you have the same kind of information. So finding the right one is a bit bothering. Search bar. Okay, we have search bar. We have timesheet above. It's my timesheet portal layout. Blah blah. Okay, it looks like this one. It doesn't like when I'm removing it. So let's try this again. Yes, okay, that's a good one. You could eventually say somewhere like here, you are not going to call whatever, and you are going to put some groups, and you say you can see that if you are from the base, I think it's base. It's not internal user. I'm going to try something. I'm not sure about this one. Groups, internal user. What is the name for this one? Metadata is group user. Okay, let's try if that would work. Yes, I think that would work because this one, of course, I'm internal user, so I'm going to add a group that I'm not part of so that it would work better. Which group I'm not part of? Let's see that. Users, so that my check can be valid. So multiple warehouse is a group that I don't have. So let's have a look at the groups. So let's type warehouse. That's the one. What is the group name? Metadata, multi-warehouse. And let's see if that works. If it's hidden, that is correct. Yes, cool. That you could do. You just put a group. Of course, don't do it that way. Do it in an inherited view. You can use a group that you know your portal user don't have. My side here was to say this because group user means internal user. So portal user are not part of that group. That would be the best so that you can see it yourself, but your clients can. And you are going to use this on the different places, so this one on the timesheets or on the ones on the task here so that you don't, well, maybe see the time spent, that would be a bit different, or cannot click the name, that would be also a different modification, but you get my point. Find the right view, change the group if you want to hide everything, or eventually remove the link here if you want that it's not clickable, because then you have access to maybe not this one, but yeah, here you have timesheets, and that's also maybe what you want to hide. But you see there we find the time spent too, so it's one of the other views that I had, time spent too. So obviously that's one of the two views that we have here with the timesheet table, and that's also where, let's see if that's this one. Let's say 3. Nope, that's the other one then. All right, and there you could, with the time spent, where is it located? I cannot see. Ah, it's here. Okay, so maybe we can remove the whole table. The table here, yeah, total time spent, we don't want it as well. So let's try to see if we can hide the whole place. I'm not sure if it works, this one. No, it's not that. If I do this here, the table and the subtotals. Maybe I need to do it two different places. It's more like a try. But I'm stupid. Maybe it can be one or the other, because here I'm still part of that group. Let's try. Can I put a group name that doesn't exist, by the way? Yes, it works. Okay, so I'm not part of those groups, so it's going to hide. Maybe I could retry my same change here with a group name that doesn't exist. Yes, that works. So that's maybe something that you could do as well. That will work the same way. But again, don't do it in that view. Do it in an inherited view. That works better and it's migration resistant. Okay, we can have a look at another question from who? Is it the one from Christian? Yes, Christian Alesiardi. How can I massively import product images into e-commerce? I don't mean the single image. I mean the media to be displayed on the site. I'm thinking of, but it's a product images that you want, because if it's yes, product images you said. I'm thinking about the following. I wonder if we didn't cover that already, but if you say it's not single image, I suppose that what you want is not what you have here, because that is yeah, okay, that is not it's a single image that maybe you already know how to do it. You would like to have it in the media. It's another place. It's in sales. Yeah, here, e-commerce media. Okay, and then you can upload images or URLs. What you could do, those e-commerce media, I think there are images on their own, but it's not showing here. Yeah, it's weird that we have that we don't have images. Images, no. I'm not sure about this one, because maybe there's a faster way. Do we have something where we would have attributes, categories, tags, choices, products, blah blah blah. I'm checking if we have a better place than this, but first answer that makes it anyway possible to do. I think it is particular model that is product image or something like this. Yeah, product image. Let's try this one and let's do it and create a new product image thing in the same products place as we did a third time that we create stuff over there. Let's go and let's go back in my sales product place. It should be appearing here. Product image, yes, no image, and now you have these images, and so that's maybe better to have an image name, to load something again, and then you don't see it, but I suppose that there's somewhere product template field or product something. So let me check the fields that we have, because there must be a product field, no? Yes, product template and variant. So let's link it to a variant, it will automatically link to a template. So that I'm going to do product images, and then let's open the view. I forgot the name of it. Sorry, let's go there. It was product variant ID. Oops. What you could do is, we don't have any view there as well, of course. If I go in, yes, it's going to generate one for me. All right, let's try this. That's what I don't like. When we don't have a view that already exists, it's going to do nothing. So the problem is that Odoo is good enough to show something that is not a view that exists, because if I go there and view list, but we have something. Okay, it's weird that you cannot find it. I'm going to do it manually. There must be an explanation for this. Oops, and we can duplicate this one and change the name just to see if that works. Yes, okay, good. I should change the form view as well. Sorry for that. Same story. Okay. right, URL, oops. Yes, and then I have my product ID. I can put it on the red one. So I'm showing this in the interface, but of course you talk about import, but at least you know that you can import the name of the image, the field, and then the image, and sending the URL. You have a format for importing that is just, I can show it here in my file. You know, if I had done that here, I would in my product, we would have, no, I should add another one that would be different. Up, I will put it here. It would be like product image, product image. That would be something like, again, ID product image 1. We would have our, what was it again, that field that I was struggling with here. It is product variant ID. We would give it, of course, not a name but an ID, because we do that properly. We would give also maybe some name because we want to name the image, and then the field that contains the image is you have video URL, blah 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 blah, image, yeah, image, that's the one, and that you give the URL. Be careful, it's a URL of the image and not a URL that contains the image. We want the image directly, otherwise it's not going to work. And importing this is going to generate the carousel images, the product images, so that would work. But of course, it's weird that we don't directly. There's maybe a misconception or something that I don't know, by the way. But it's true. It's weird that if we go here on the product images, that we have to import them that way. Yes, there are other advanced ways of doing that. I think I've shown one last time, but without more explanation. Let me check that, because it's something that sometimes it's the same story as I think the first question that we had earlier today. It is, if I had your dataset and I knew exactly the situation you are in at the moment, I would maybe give a different piece of information. But let's imagine that you already imported all your product and then you realize, okay, now I need to import all the images, and the images don't have the correct name, or they have the right name, but the name is based on the barcode or things like that. It's complicated, but there are ways that we can do something correct, and that's something correct. I'm looking on my GitHub account because I think that's what I shown like a few weeks ago. It's good, by the way, because it means that there are a few problematics that we need to address on our side, and I'm looking for the place where I had to create an import of images. Okay, where is it located? I know that you don't see anything here. I'm looking for one of my branches on my own GitHub where I have those kind of things in my repositories. I don't remember if it's which one it is. And it bothers me because I'm sure that I made something like that and I was showing it last time. Maybe, yes, I think that's the one. We had auto add images on product. It's an example I gave. It's of course something that you need to rework on your side, because this one was, I think it was not exactly the same, because here it was for writing, but it's the same idea. It was for writing the image on the product. So it's on the product itself that I'm going to write the image here, and this one is the image that you have over there, this one, which is not the same as the media here, because that is a record on its own that contains a binary field instead of the binary field directly linked to the product. My small script that is certainly ugly, that one, if I show it to the developer, I think he would cry, but at least it was working, where I'm going to select the different format that I want to consider, and if I put it in the right folder, that the ID was 36, it's going to put the name of the image in lowercase and try to find product whose name matches the lowercase or the ID matches the lowercase in case I'm giving an ID instead of a product name. And you could do that also not on the name or the ID, but the default code or the barcode, and it would work the same way. But this time on your side, you wouldn't be writing on a product, but you would be creating a product image where the product ID would be the ID that you found over there, and that would work. So this one is a script that we can adapt to create product images that would be possible, so that if you imported all your products and that your by chance the images that you have the name of the product or the barcode and that they are separated by a underscore, for example, we make a bit of text search, removing things so that we find the right product, and we automate that with a small script. That is a possibility as well, but there are so many different cases that we need to know exactly what you are doing. But otherwise, first solution works well if you have your file and that you know in your Excel sheet, and that is maybe better, really, which URL is linked to which product. The first solution I was giving will work. All right. So quick reminder that that one should work. The only thing is to have the corresponding thing between the product ID and the image. If you have that somewhere, that is already way sufficient. All right, we still have 15 minutes to go, so a few more questions maybe we can solve. Another one from someone on on YouTube. I have a question. Do you know if there's a way for me to transfer data between my current ERP and Odoo without manually doing every single wheel of material processes? It's too generic. Because it could be that we need to export CSVs from your place to re-import it inside Odoo, and I don't know the data model that you have. So what I would do if I were you is check what you want, draw a list of the different things that you want to import in Odoo, and check if you can export a CSV. If you can export a CSV from your place and we have a data model that is more or less corresponding on the same kind of records, that would be possible. But it requires you to know how to transform that data, and that takes time. If you've never done it in Odoo, you will need some assistance, because that or assistance, human, or you can ask ChatGPT or things like that. But as the data model change, you need to have the last version, because Odoo 18 was out a few months ago, so it's pretty new. Maybe there are new fields that didn't exist before that you want to make use of. If ChatGPT doesn't know it, it's going to make the story a bit more difficult. So it's good to get some help there. Not the help so that we do it for you, but that we, every time that you have a question, we unblock you. So the same way that we kind of do it here, I'm there to help you understand how to reason around different problematics. Not always to give you and do the job for you, but just showing where you should go and what, how we would do it on our side. And for a CSV file, we need to see what you want to import. Well, not one CSV file, but a series of CSV files. That's how I would do as well. Okay, maybe the next questions that was asked in French, but I'm going to have a nicely translated way of saying it, which is the routes in field services are linked to addresses of the customer's headquarters. Is it possible to use other addresses? We intervene at the customer of our customers. We do not want to change the address of our customer account to carry out this travel action. Yes, you can. That is something that we can illustrate. Usually the route, I think that we saw it last time, well, not last time, like a few months ago. If I create a new task here, we have, the thing that matters is the customer here. And so you see, I'm going to select, if I select Belgian company here, or if I select the Asia or Americas, I'm going to use both, in fact. We have one here, and I'm going to create another one, and select another place. Okay. Is it different places? Asia, yeah, Asia and America. Okay, if we do that, yeah, fun. Not the result that I expected. Okay, we have both that are here. That's maybe what you have. I thought that this would work, by the way. Let's have a look at why it is selecting. Is it selecting the parent company? Let's see. Customer Americas. Okay, and this one, okay, it's selecting the address and not the customer. Let's see that. I was wrong. Please don't say as usual. I don't like it. Okay, so we have the customer here, and we have the address somewhere. It's not here, but okay. Wait a sec. But it's the same address. I'm stupid. Okay, it's just the name that changes. Otherwise, maybe I was right. Okay, let's move it to another place in Brussels. Let's see if I was really right. Americas. Yeah, it's linked to the same company here. I would have to create different things then. So we have Americas. I would need to change the address. Okay, if it's that's the issue. You need to find a type of contact where you can change the address, like here, and we can say this. Let's try that. And on this one, let's try something else, or delivery, where it would be. Oops. This one, so I change Asia and America, and both sales and service. Okay, let's retry it, because I don't know if those were the addresses I was using. No, thanks. There. Okay. Rue de Bruxelles, yes. At least those are two different ones. So on the map. Interesting. No, good. That is working. So we have one here that is in Namur, and the other one that is the first one. So that is working, but you need to have a contact that has. Yeah, I have my customers. No. So long story short, you need to have contacts that have different addresses, and in order to have that, you need to have them have. You can go back, well, on the main company, but it's true that if you do this and it's just a contact, it will be in the same place. You need to use follow-up addresses or other addresses, but not contact, because then it will consider it's a contact inside that company, and then it takes this address. So that's what you would need to do. Okay. Yes, continuing on another question from Ilgar about Odoo Studio and the pricing. Industries, apps, it's true that they use Studio for lots of them, I think, because I think that all industry apps use Studio. I'm not sure. Let's check. But that's maybe something that you will find here. Let me check in the categories. No, industries. Yeah, it says free everywhere, but do we have? Yeah, here we check if we need Studio or not. There's no line of code, so this one, that would be okay. This one, there's no Studio, but there are lines of code. So this would mean extra cost. The hair salon, for example. Fast food, that would be all right. No cost. So you need to be able to read this, having a look at the dependencies. If you see Studio, like here, in the dependencies, it's custom mode. And if you have lines of code, it's custom mode as well. If it helps, Ilgar, check this. But it's true that the industries, it's not exactly the same. Some we can do it without extra code or without Studio, some others not. Okay, do we have another question? Yes, we have a lot. From Odimaz, welcome back. Not one for today, but it would be great to have dedicated sessions or emailing and email setup. Yes, but long time ago we did that, but the problem is that we don't have the I don't know when it was. It would be really hard to find it back. Yes, you need to go. But I remember that we started with that. So I'm going to make your life easier, although not completely easier. Odoo.com/r. Yeah, there you have the whole list. It was definitely in 2024. It was even before end of November. So you should start your research from here going up. And it's at the beginning of the session. I'm starting with email discussion for something like 40 minutes, 1 hour. I was very long on this one because it's really hard to explain a lot without going deep in the details. So that is where you could start, Odoo, just to see if that is that answers your question. I think that if I wanted to do that, I would need at least 2 hours and a lot of preparation, because showing it would need to have that I create a SMTP server, that I have a DNS on my own, and lots of other conditions. Usually, though, for all the questions that we have and that we receive regularly on the partner success packs, it is something that usually is solved between 15 and 30 minutes, because it's always the same use cases and the same questions that we ask, but it's really difficult to ask without knowing. But we have a look at usually the outgoing mail servers, the incoming mail servers, the aliases, and we ask you about the configuration that you made most of the time on Google or on Azure. And starting from there, usually we have an answer quite fast. There are a few extra stuff where sometimes people wrongly design an alias and so the emails arrive, but there are conditions that are not fulfilled correctly. But if you are on Odoo SH, you can see the fails. That's another one. You can see a lot of fails in the logs. So if you are on Odoo SH, use the logs. You will see by typing the emails or email addresses of people you know. You will see the email address saying I couldn't create an email, and you will see in the logs. So lots of use cases. If I need to do that, it needs a lot of preparation. I would love to do it because I know it's something that is necessary. The documentation has been reviewed by Quentin, one of our consultants, like 3-4 months ago. So if you didn't go there, so documentation of Odoo, I don't know where it is located, by the way. So is it general settings, like emails or something like this? Let me check that, because I know it has been done. Yeah, but if I type email, it's so generic. Maybe that one? Yes, I suppose that's it. Yeah, you have a lot of information about inbound and outbound. Yes, and that is longer than before, with more graphs explaining things. So it's a gold mine. I know nobody likes to be redirected to the documentation, but that's the first place where you need to go. And if you feel like, okay, I've read the documentation and it doesn't work, we need to have a session together about some example if you have some. Then, second question related, still from Odimaz on Twitch, on Outlook. With the Odoo add-on for Outlook, is it still maintained and improved by Odoo? Improved, not. Maintained, yes. Bit funky sometimes, mostly because of way Odoo manages contacts. Sometimes an email from a contact will not show opportunities or tasks related in company associated with the contact, for example. For having debugged that, sometimes with partners, here's what I can tell you. Sometimes you don't realize that it depends a lot on the access rights. So people will see stuff related to contact, but don't see leads, because leads are not related to the right company of the right contact, and maybe you're in a multi-company environment, or your user cannot see it. I know that from time to time it's a bit more complicated. When you receive huge forwards with lots of attachments, you are not going to be able to contact Odoo, because you try to send the email to Odoo, but there's a failure because Outlook fails, but silently, in getting all the attachments to send to Odoo, and so in the end nothing is sent. You have a few extra cases like those ones, and you will see that usually it fails silently, but you will see it in your console of Google Chrome. So that's also another one. But if you have really cases that you would like to cover, we can check that. And if you think it's a bug, the support will be happy to answer it for free. But most of the time, while I was saying that it required 15 to 30 minutes to solve any case of emailing, and not like 100% of the time true or accurate, but it's along those lines. With Outlook, it can be a bit longer, depending on those kind of things like the attachments and the access right that you have. It's way easier if you are on Odoo SH, because then we have access as consultants to the logs, and it's helping. Another question from Odi, just following on Twitch. You can on Odoo 17 you can archive product components of a BOM but still have an active BOM. What is the best way to systematize a warning so that the system warns the user when archiving a product that it is a component of an active BOM? To me, that would be a quick automated action. So we can do that. I think that we have 2 minutes remaining. I'm not sure I can do it in 2 minutes, but maybe in 5. So that should be all right. I will dive into Odoo's backend, and what you can do is do the following. If we take any product, technical, you know that I like. I haven't been there today, so it is quite unusual, because usually lots of questions that you ask end up in me going into this place. Archive products is not possible if bombs. Let's do that. I'm making impossible. If you want just a warning, it will be a bit more complicated, because you will have to display the warning on the bombs, or do something like this one, or send an email, but you will get the idea. The thing I'm going to do is that I'm saving, and if I'm saving and active is set, and that we go for active is not set, and that, by the way, there exists, and that we can do it here, create record, no, not create record, execute code. What you need to do is this product part of a BOM? So what we can do is have a look at the BOM lines. It's not even a BOM, it's a BOM line that should contain it. I'm going to say, okay, do we have MRP BOM line? I'm not sure about the name of the object, so I will need to go in the models just to check that. Is it BOM line something? No, it's... but I don't have MRP, I think. Yes, I will add that in the meantime, because otherwise it won't work. I won't have the object even. Yes, let's check that. So I'm going to look for a BOM line where we would have product ID. It will be a bit more complicated than this, because in fact we use usually another widget for this, so it's not going to be that easy, but we can try record.id, and we say if test, we raise a user error message saying you cannot do that. All right, let's try this. And I'm going to already re-click here, because I'm not sure about MRP BOM line. So let's go into the models, MRP BOM line, that's correct. So we have here, that's where it's going to be a bit more complicated. We have product ID, that is okay, but we have product template ID, because in the BOM line, sometimes you can put a product template and say it's for which variant. So product ID is not an exact search, I think. I'm going to test that. Let's create a new product. Let's call it raw material. And let's create a track inventory, yeah. And let's create another one. That would be finished product. Over there, and go here in MRP, manufacturing, where are we? Yeah, maybe need to refresh manufacturing, because then I need to create my bill of material saying that my finished product is created thanks to my component. That is, no, it's good. That's going to work. Raw material over there. So if we do this components here, I think that's what we have. I need to. Okay, it's on MRP BOM line. It's product ID field. Okay, that should be all right. So let's try MRP BOM line if the product is the record ID. Okay, let's try this one. Let's go back on the product. Where is it located? My raw mat. All right, let's try to archive it. You cannot do that. Good. And let's remove it from the BOM just to be sure that it is not that we cannot. Yes, if you do this, now can I do it? Archive. Yes, I can. Good. That would be a way of doing it, Odoo. That is, of course, not a warning, but at least, well, it's a blocking error. If you need to have it as a warning, there are no good ways to do that, because maybe, as you said, you have already existing BOMs, but also manufacturing orders that exist. So I think that it should be blocking, because I did it here on the BOM, but maybe the BOM is itself archived, and you have bill of manufacturing orders that still work on it. So the control to be nice, we need to be a bit more than this, where you would go and also when you have AMRP BOM line, you check the BOM and you check if the BOM doesn't have manufacturing orders that are not instead done or cancelled, because that is just a first test, but it wouldn't be sufficient if you want to make this a bit more professional. That will be the first one I'm thinking of. And second, that's maybe for another time, but you know that we have the PLM module that can help. I'm not sure it helps when you archive products that are used in BOM lines, but it allows to manage different versions, and so that's maybe one of the things that you should do in advance when you are going to use the PLM, but I think it would be for another session. So guys, thanks a lot for your time today. We still have a meeting together next Thursday, same time, same place. Thanks a lot for all of your questions. I still have a ton that we can cover. We have been going through a few questions that were quite long, and I still feel that it can be even longer than this. When it comes to the product import, for example, that is really super important, I know. But we have only so much time. Thanks again and see you next week. There will be a nice surprise also. Yeah, Arthur is reminding me that we have a special session. You have it here, soon it will be there, We are here today, and very soon it will be 1 year of Odoo anniversary. You may have seen something in the file, I don't know, about a special guest. We'll see. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. See you next week.